It's absolutely bloody freezing. I'm actually not sure if I'm going to be able to get through this video. 2 degrees it's saying on my phone, and it feels every bit of it, and my bloody nipples are as hard as concrete. I'm probably sure you can actually see them through this top. But anyway, make sure that you're all wrapped up and you're staying warm, and follow along, because in today's video I am going to explain to you how to properly increase your weights on each of your exercises in the gym. Last week I gave you my client horror story where he was left to his own devices for 4 weeks and was in charge of increasing his weights, of which he did nothing, and he done his 4 sessions a week on the first week, and he just literally copy and pasted the exact same numbers, the exact same reps, the exact same everything he'd done over 4 weeks, and it was a surprise to him that he didn't make any progress. And that's obviously what I've told you that most of you guys lack and you're hesitant to do. And obviously there is a wee bit kind of technical programming when it comes to it, so I'm just going to explain to you what the actual technical specifications should be. And after you watch this, hopefully you will see it is actually relatively easy to do, and it's not going to be some big massive task that you think is going to be impossible. And I'm going to give you it in straight figures. I'm not going to give you it in percentages or anything like that, so it should be really simple for you to go and implement. But first, something you must implement is subscribing to me, because that's going to give you some quality videos every single week. And if you do like the video as well, give it a wee like too. And don't forget, if you are interested in getting set up for coaching before the end of the year, and there's still plenty of time to make loads of progress. I've had a few new guys set up in the last few weeks, and there is no time to start right now. And I know obviously Christmas is coming up and you might think about winding down, but it's just going to give you that extra helping hand to help navigate the Christmas period and get you set up for 2025 in the best possible way. So the inquiry form is below as well. Feel free to fill that out, and then I will drop you a little message and we can have a wee chat about where you are with your training and what you need help with. Now, how to increase your weights properly. I'm not going to give you anything here that's rocket science. I'm not going to give you anything here that's technical or complicated. It's just really simple ways that you can do it, and hopefully you're going to see how doable it is, and it's not going to be some big mammoth task that you're struggling with. So I'm breaking this down the exact same way that I program with my clients, and as I said, it's not going to be percentages, it's just going to be actual concrete figures for you to use. Now, when I'm going to talk here about how to increase the weights, I'm going to talk about when you get to the top of your rep range, whether it be 6, 8, 10 or whatever else, how much weight should you then add when you go up to the next again weight. And obviously it doesn't mean that you'll add weight every single week, but obviously when you're setting the rep range that you're working in, or you maybe feel like you've kind of got enough reps at a given weight and you want to go up to the next one, I'm going to give you the jump that you should take so that you're obviously doing enough to stimulate progressive overload, but not doing too much where you're going to fall off a cliff and say you end up going from doing 8 reps, taking a jump up and getting like 3 reps. So I'm going to break this down into exercise groups. So I'm going to start off with your main lower body lifts, your squats, your deadlifts, your front squats, your RDLs, your hip thrust, maybe hack squats, whatever you use where you're using, you know, quite a substantial amount of weight and the exercises you use the most weight with. Now, how much weight should you add when you go up to the next again weight? Quite simply, 5 kilos. These big muscle groups are going to be able to handle a 5 kilo jump at a time. Obviously, if you're feeling less confident, you can do 2.5 kilos, but don't go as much as like 10 kilos because that can start to kind of add up and maybe be a little bit too much too soon. 5 kilos is all you need. So let's just say you're doing a squat. If you go from 100 kilos to 105 kilos, that's only an extra 5%. It's not actually that much. Say you're doing a deadlift and you're maybe using a little bit more weight on those and you're up at like 140, then that's not even a 5% jump. Adding that 5 kilos each time should be hard enough that it's obviously providing a greater stimulus, but not too hard that it's going to kind of slow your rate of progress, and you should be able to gain steadily, add on the 5 kilos, get a decent amount of reps, improve on your reps to get to the top of the rep range within a few weeks, and then keep going again. And if you're seeing people on my page who are like doubling the weight that they're deadlifting within like 6 months or something like that, that's what they've followed. 5 kilos a time, 5 kilos a time. And believe me, that 5 kilos adds up. It's not going to be too difficult. Your upper body lifts, your bench press, your shoulder press, maybe even pull-ups if you're strong enough for that. Anything where you're using a bar, but you're obviously using your upper body. You can maybe include some lower body isolation stuff in here maybe. All you need to add each week, 2.5 kilos. So if you think about it in percentage wise, because you're using heavier weights on your lower body exercises, if you take the same 5 kilo jump on the upper body exercises, that's actually going to work out to be quite a lot more. So if you think about it, you're going to be using lighter weights on your upper body lifts than your lower body lifts, because obviously it's smaller muscle groups, if you're training properly that is. So if you were to take that same 5 kilo jump, percentage wise that's going to work out a lot more. So for example, if you're doing like shoulder press and you're doing 50 kilos, if you add on 5 kilos, that's like a 10% jump, which is now getting quite a lot. All you need to do is add one of these wee guys each side, 1.25 kilos, that gives you 2.5 kilos in total, and that's obviously kind of getting to that 5% as I spoke about before. Bench press, it might be a little bit more, and when you start kind of obviously getting up to like 100 kilo bench press and stuff like that, then obviously it's going to be less of a jump, but it's a smaller muscle group, so I think sometimes 5 kilos a go can feel a little bit much, and if you do want that steady, consistent kind of stream of progress, 2.5 kilos is going to be fine. And you've maybe thought before that, oh, it's pointless adding 2.5 kilos, you need to add 5 kilos a time, or maybe even 10 kilos a time, but please believe me, 2.5 kilos, more than enough. If you do that consistently, you will see the numbers skyrocket. When it comes to dumbbell exercises, so body simply, one set of dumbbells. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to work out. If you're using 20s, go to 22s. If you're using 25s and your dumbbells go up in 2.5 kilo increments, go to 27.5. It's really that simple, and you might be thinking to yourself, oh, but I can do 10 with the 25s, and if I go to 27.5s, I can only get 7 or whatever. Just keep practicing with that 27.5, and eventually that 7 will turn into 10, but it's not going to magically turn into 10 like one day randomly. So again, it does need to be much more simple than that, and your body's not going to go from like one jump to the next, from repping fine, getting a decent amount of reps, to dive bombing and falling off a cliff. And it's the exact same on any pin machine as well. Let's just say you've got a pin at 20 kilos, you put it down to the next one to whatever it is, and you will be able to manage that totally fine. If you're using a machine that the jumps are a little bit high, and I know for example, when I'm getting all my clients to do pull downs, the machine jump will maybe go from like 59 to 66, which, think about percentages wise, that is quite a lot. That's actually over a 10% jump. What I'll get them to do is I'll just get them to keep it on the 59, but put a 2.5 kilo disc on top of the weight stack, and that's obviously just kind of giving you an in-between so you can build yourself up before jumping onto the 66. And obviously some gyms will have like the gym pin things that you can like put in, and then you add the weight onto it. And again, you can even do that as well to break up the machines. And if you're using a machine that's, you know, like a plate loaded machine, again, just follow that upper body rules that I followed, 2.5 kilos each time. That's going to be totally fine. Again, just need to try and have that confidence to believe that you're not going to just go up to the next skin weight and fall off a cliff. And I keep repeating myself, but it's just so true. And you might have watched till this point in the video and thinking, oh fucking hell, that was like really basic and really simple. And aye, you're right, but you're still probably not doing it, and that's probably why that you're not making the progress that you want. And there's so much things with training that you can focus on and you need to get right in terms of the technical aspect and the programming aspect and recovery and all this type of thing. But number one, progressive overload, doing more than last time. And even though I did explicitly say this in the video last week, I still had people asking, oh, but did they increase the reps that you done? And the answer was no, and I explained that in the video. However, increasing the reps only goes so far, and eventually those increases in reps you do has got to result in you increasing the load, increasing the weight. And you need to just get your arse doing it, because if not, you will literally just stay the same forever and ever and ever and ever. And as I've said, if you're going to do that, just probably call it a day and just stop training. Like, you're just wasting your time. So I feel like this is probably the most easiest and most pointless video I've ever made, but I just want to try and give you some reassurance that it is that simple to increase the weight, and it doesn't really need to be overly complicated. I'm not giving you any massively technical scientific detail there, and if the reason that you're hesitating going up in weight is because you think you have to take these big mad jumps and you think that it might be too much, please believe me, it's not. I will leave it there because my pre-workout's kicking in and I am ready to shit my pants. Catch you all in the next video, bye.